My best friend slept with my fiancé a week before our wedding, so I exposed them in front of everyone. I never thought my life would turn into something straight out of a soap opera. I'm 27 years old, and just a week before my wedding, I discovered a betrayal so deep, so painful, that it changed everything. My fiancé, Jake, and my best friend Rachel, the two people I trusted the most, were sleeping together behind my back. But instead of breaking down, I decided to make sure everyone knew exactly what kind of people they were. The love story that turned into a nightmare. Jake and I had been together for 4 years. We met at work. He was charming, funny, and everything I thought I wanted in a partner. We built our lives together, traveled, talked about kids, and dreamed of our future. When he proposed to me on a romantic getaway in Italy, I thought I had hit the jackpot. Rachel had been my best friend since college. She was the kind of person who could light up a room, always supportive, always there when I needed her. We went through everything together. Bad breakups, job stress, family drama. I never thought, not even once, that she would be capable of doing something like this. But looking back, the signs were always there. The first red flags: Rachel and Jake had always gotten along well, maybe a little too well. At first, I loved that my best friend and my fiancé could joke around and have fun together. But as the wedding approached, things started to feel off. Rachel suddenly became very involved in my relationship. She had opinions about everything: what dress I should wear, what venue we should book, even what vows I should say. She started calling Jake more often, saying it was about surprise wedding plans. I shrugged it off, thinking she was just being an amazing friend. But then the physical signs began. I noticed the way she would touch his arm when she laughed, how she seemed to always position herself next to him at events, how they would exchange glances when they thought I wasn't looking. One night, while we were having dinner at my place, I excused myself to grab something from the bedroom. When I walked back into the kitchen, I saw them standing close together, whispering. The moment they noticed me, they jumped apart like guilty teenagers. "What's going on?" I asked, half laughing, trying to ignore the knot forming in my stomach. Rachel gave me that signature grin of hers and said, "Oh, just wedding surprises, you'll see soon enough." I laughed it off, but deep down, something felt wrong. I just didn't want to believe it. The truth comes out. A few days before the wedding, I left my phone at Rachel's apartment while we were doing some last-minute planning. When I went back to get it, she was in the shower, so I let myself in. That's when I saw it. Her phone lit up on the table with a message from Jake. "Last night was amazing. I can't stop thinking about you." My stomach dropped. I hesitated, my hands shaking as I picked up her phone. I knew her passcode. She had told me once when she was drunk, never thinking I'd use it against her. But in that moment, I had no hesitation. I unlocked the phone and scrolled through the messages, and what I found shattered me. Dozens of texts, secret meetups, explicit details. This wasn't some drunken mistake. This had been going on for months. The betrayal hits hard. I felt like my entire world had collapsed. My best friend, my fiancé, the two people I trusted more than anyone else. I sat there for what felt like hours, rereading their messages, watching as Rachel texted him, "I can't wait for the wedding night." Imagine sneaking away together while she's too drunk to notice. I felt sick. Instead of screaming, instead of confronting them immediately, I took a deep breath. I needed a plan. I wasn't just going to walk away quietly. They were going to pay. The wedding day bombshell. The night before the wedding, I stayed completely calm. I acted normal. I didn't say a word. If anything, I was friendlier than usual. I smiled at Rachel, thanked Jake for being so supportive, and played the perfect, clueless bride-to-be. Then came the rehearsal dinner. Everyone was there, our families, our closest friends, people who had flown in from different countries just to celebrate our love. I stood up, tapping my glass, and smiled at the crowd. "With the wedding tomorrow," I began, "I just wanted to take a moment to thank two very special people in my life. My best friend Rachel and my fiancé Jake." They both smiled. Rachel even blushed a little, probably thinking I was about to give her some heartfelt speech. I took a deep breath and continued. "I want to thank them for proving that some people will betray you in the worst ways possible." Silence. Then, before anyone could react, I pulled out my phone and began reading their messages aloud. Every dirty little secret. Every meetup. Every "I can't wait to see you again" text. Gasps filled the room. My mother covered her mouth. My father's face turned red with anger. Jake's parents looked horrified. Guests exchanged shocked glances. Rachel went pale. "It's not what you think," she stammered. "Oh, really?" I said, tilting my head. "Because according to these messages, you've been screwing my fiancé behind my back for months, but please enlighten me." Jake tried to grab my hand, but I yanked it away. "Save it," I spat. "The wedding is off. And both of you? You can go straight to hell." The entire room erupted into chaos. Rachel burst into tears, Jake stood frozen, and I walked out with my head held high. The aftermath. It's been a week since that night. I'm sitting in a hotel with a one-way ticket to Bali. The pain is still there, but I refuse to let them break me. And as for Rachel and Jake, well, let's just say their reputations are ruined. Jake's family disowned him. Rachel lost most of her friends. And from what I've heard, their little affair didn't last long. Turns out betrayal isn't such a great foundation for love. Some betrayals cut deep, but karma cuts deeper.